Good evening. My name is Wasswa Lugayizi. I am here to present a talent management diagnosis and strategic recommendation for Hotel Starlac. This presentation explores three key areas: assessing Hotel Starlac talent management strategy, evaluating its alignment with the organization structure, and advising on the feasibility and the risks of adopting Whitestone's approach following a potential acquisition. Using organization behavior theories and case-based evidence, I am here to deliver a comprehensive and actionable analysis. That is my this is my passport, and I'll delve into an assignment as the presentation objectives include diagnosing Hotel Starlac's management strategy, evaluating the alignment with organization structure and culture, and then assessing the impact on organization performance. Then also recommending changes based on the Whitestone's proposed acquisition. Um, we shall begin with assessment and at hiring, onboarding, and training. Starlac's hiring and onboarding processes are largely informal, where the hotel has benefited from experienced staff and long-standing luxury reputation. Its recruitment lacks structure and consistency. New hires often face disorganized onboarding and insufficient training, leading to role ambiguity and performance inconsistencies. There is no systematic development of employee skills, which compromises long-term capability and succession planning. This is reflected. This reflects a reactive rather than strategic talent acquisition process. Yes, as you can see, the strengths are highlighted here and the weaknesses. And when you look at the organization behavior concepts, human capital development and structured onboarding is looked at in this part of the presentation. Then we need to assess the performance management. And the performance management, Starlac operates with a traditional hierarchical structure, but it lacks efficiency. When you look at the document that was shared, you see that the weaknesses is no formal performance review system is in place, and feedback is inconsistent and largely verbal. No goal setting or KPIs for workers or even the managers. And there is an impact for that, low accountability and unclear expectations from top management given to the subordinates, and demotivation among high performers, because when they look at how other people are performing, they feel like they feel demotivated. The concepts we look at here include goal setting theory and the expectancy theory. Reward and retention. When you look at this, you will see that when you look at this assessment of rewards and retention, there is minimal career advancement, since there is no specific career development structure in the company, and there is inconsistent or unclear reward systems and low employee engagement by top management. We're also going to see that the retention drivers and intentions to quit, lack of growth opportunities, and there is even favoritism by senior managers to some workers, and a burnout due to understaffing. The concepts viewed here: equity theory and Hertzberg's two-factor theory. Yes. And then when you look at the organization structure, you can see that it's a traditional hierarchical structure, and decision making is centralized with the ownership, with the people who own the company, and there's a poor role clarity and overlapping responsibility for different workers at different levels. Then we can also look at the inefficiencies in the organizational structure. There is a delayed response and lack of innovation. Managerial bottlenecks in operations. Uh, we look at the concepts here looked at are bureaucratic versus organic structures as reviewed by Burns and Stoker. And then we go on to look at the organization culture. The culture diagnosis includes that the relationship oriented but resistant to change. The organization is relationship oriented but resistant to change, informal but lacks transparency, strong loyalty to founding members. People speak to founding members, they are loyal. Then the challenge with this organization structure is favoritism and lack of meritocracy, and then there is poor communication channels also. This can also we can look at the OB concepts here being Shine's model of organization, culture, and competing values framework. Working conditions and industrial comparison. Looking at other industries with related industries in comparison, you see that in relation to working conditions, high workload, few breaks, and minimal wellness programs is part of Hotel Starlac, and there is a competitive environment but unsupportive atmosphere. That is both for development and also career growth. Then, in relation to the industry, looking at other industries, competitors offer structured human resource policies and employee trainings and career development paths. But this is not the same with Hotel Starlac, and Starlac lags in modern human resource practices and employee engagement. In relation to talent management's impact on performance, there is a high turnover which leads to increased recruitment stroke training costs. So that this can be explained that very many workers join and they easily leave because of the poor management, and this is costly to the company. There is poor morale that leads to low service quality and negative guest experience. Yeah, the poor morale comes because the service quality is poor, and this affects the guests that visit Hotel Starlac. Then there is also disengagement that leads to missed upselling opportunities and loss of loyal customers. The more the company or the hotel is disengaged from its customers, there is no chance of them giving having a close relationship with their customers, and this leads to a loss to them. Salak's financial decline is directly tied to its misaligned talent strategy, and that is worth also noting. Then, when you look at the Whitestone approach in evaluation, we see that Whitestone approached Starlac in order for an acquisition. But then the question here is, should Starlac adopt the Whitestone's approach? And the answer is yes, with contextual adaptation or modifications. And positives here being that clear job roles and performance metrics are seen in the Whitestone approach, and then training programs defined promotion paths is also seen. Then standard operating procedures which also drive efficiency among workers. We can also see some cons or risks with the Whitestone's approach, um, which may stifle Starlac's unique service charm. Employee resistance to structure overhaul. You see, even with a very good strategy like what Whitestone has, always there is a resistance that might come with a structure overhaul. When you look at the risks and mitigation, yes, there is a culture mismatch in between Hotel Starlac and Whitestone. Then loss of long-term staff due to sudden changes, and then over standardization in luxury service environment. You see, with a lot of standardization, then there is a little room of innovation and creativity, and that also affects people in the luxury sector. In the mitigation measures should be a phased integration of Whitestone practices, that which they should be that the approaches from Whitestone should be introduced phase by phase as people understand them and appreciate them. The leadership coaching and transparent communication should also be adopted by Hotel Starlac. And then the involvement of employees in change initiatives for everything that's going to be positive in the company. Employees may be consulted to see how positive or negative they are to new ideas. This can also be looked at when you read the Lewin's change model. Recommendations in order for to retain customer eccentric ethos, those should be retained. And then there is a need for experienced staff that should also be retained. What should be changed is the develop structure hiring, onboarding, and training. That is for Hotel Starlac. Introduce formal performance appraisal systems for career advancement, and then implement transparent and merit-based rewards programs. Then what can be eliminated completely uh, is the informal management practices, rumor mongering, favoritism. All those can be removed from in this talent management structure. Then favoritism and unclear role definition should also be eliminated fully um, if they are to acquire Hotel Starlac. These are the references. Some are from Quantic, and you can see some are from Shine, and different other writers that we looked at as we studied in this course. Thank you very much for listening, and have a nice evening. Thank you once again.